4 and 5 ask you to read a media text. Both tasks are based on one type of media text, and in this example, we will be looking at the novel Shadow by Michael McCurry. For task 4, we need to focus on language. In this instance, it will be the blurb from the novel, and for task 5, we will be analysing the presentational features to decipher how this is an engaging media text that would encourage readers or audiences or customers to read or buy the text. So, as I said, for task 4, you need to analyse the use of language here, and in this case the question is asking us how this book would be exciting to read. Now, for your exam, they always advise that you spend 17 minutes on task 4, and there is a total of 20 marks that are available for you here. So we need to be using our P chains to structure our answer based on how it's exciting for the reader. Okay, so because it's a novel, they're going to use lots of description. We're going to get a sense of the characters and the background so that any potential buyers or readers would get a sense for the themes in the novel and if it's the sort of novel that would appeal to their taste. So let's get stuck in here. Never have Aman and his mother needed a friend more than ever when a Springer Spaniel appears, thin and war-ravaged, in the mouth of their Afghan cave. Nursed back to health by Aman, the dog becomes a constant companion, a shadow, and that's what Aman decides to call her. But life in Afghanistan becomes more dangerous by the moment. Eventually, Aman and his mother and Shadow find the courage to embark upon the treacherous journey from war-torn Afghanistan to the safety of a relative's home in England. But how far can Shadow lead them? And in this terrifying new world, is anywhere really safe? So looking back to the question here, explain how language has been used to develop a sense that this book would be exciting to read. Present evidence to support your comments. So firstly, we're going to go through the text now that we've read through it, and we're going to analyse the techniques that are in here before I show you a sample point, evidence, explain, developed, structured answer. Firstly, we're introduced to these characters, Aman and his mother. So we already know that they're going to be two key roles within the novel, and they've never needed a friend more than ever. So from the outset of this blurb, we're getting the sense that there's a bit of desperation here. Something has happened in their lives that has made them need for a friend. When a Springer Spaniel appears, so you could argue Springer Spaniel is alliteration here, but it's also the breed and name of a type of dog, so they're being technical with their language too. But because it's been given the proper name, we're getting the sense already that this character could also be pretty important. Something that's important here though in this sentence is the use of the two hyphens. Usually, you probably know this already, that a hyphen is used to create a dramatic pause or indeed to give us extra information. So in this instance, it's giving us more information about this Springer Spaniel who appears thin and war-ravaged. So already we're getting a sense of imagery here, what the dog looks like, and it's war-ravaged. So war-ravaged is ravage is a transitive verb here, so it's showing quite aggressive language here, destructive by nature, which is similar then, it reflects life in the Afghan cave and the Afghanistan war. So we can understand that maybe all of these characters have been through desperate times and very traumatic times in the mouth of their Afghan cave. Nursed back to health by Aman, the dog becomes a constant companion. So here the word constant is an adjective, and beside the word companion, the noun, we have alliteration, a shadow. So what's important here then, which you've probably already guessed, Shadow is the name of the character. That's what Aman decides to call her. But it also gives us a bit of a personality trait here as well. So it's the title character and also a character trait. But life in Afghanistan becomes more dangerous by the moment. So dangerous here is an adjective. So we're getting a sense that it's becoming more dangerous. So there is a bit of excitement starting to creep into the story now. We're getting a sense that Maybe Aman and his mother and this dog Shadow are going to have to overcome some sort of obstacle, and that makes us curious as readers to want to know what's going to happen next. And then this is further emphasised by the use of ellipsis here, which creates dramatic tension and encourages the reader to take a pause to really think, I wonder what is going to happen to these characters. Eventually, Aman, his mother and Shadow find the courage to embark upon the treacherous journey. So looking at the language here, courage is a noun, and the word embark here is a verb, and it's signifying a new adventure, and you have to be brave if you're going on a new adventure. So this again is leading to this tone and sense of excitement in this novel. The word treacherous then as well is another adjective, and this is really heightening the sense of danger in the story, bit of dramatic tension starting to creep into the language, again creating that tone of excitement. From war-torn Afghanistan. Now again, war-torn, we're having repetition of the word war, which was at the beginning of the blurb as well. So this is indicating that the narrative is going to be obviously based on war, it's based in a war-torn country, and it's showing the adversity that these characters are going to have to overcome together, possibly as a family. So from war-torn Afghanistan to the safety of a relative's home in England. So they are embarking on a new journey altogether, so they are going to have to be brave, and if they're going to get all the way from Afghanistan to England, this is increasing our excitement and curiosity and anticipation as readers, because we want to know how it is that they're going to achieve this. But how far can Shadow lead them? So we're greeted with one rhetorical question straight away. And in this terrifying new world, is anywhere really safe? And then a secondary rhetorical question. This is then further emphasised again with the use of more ellipsis. So to answer the question here, we really have to structure our answer well. As you can see here, I have colour-coded the answer for you. So your point is in yellow. Evidence from that media text, the blurb up above, is in blue. An explanation is in pink-purple there, and to develop my answer slightly more, I've put it in green. Now remember, this question is worth 20 marks, so you need to make sure that you are fully explaining how the language is creating that sense of excitement. So, the language in the text shows that this will be an exciting story. Tick. The quotation, thin and war-ravaged, gives the reader an indication of what the story will be about. So there's my piece of evidence that I'm giving to support this idea that the story is going to be exciting. War-ravaged suggests that the story takes place in a war situation, and therefore there may be danger or even exciting dramatic moments in the text. The use of the hyphens makes the reader take a dramatic pause, which adds to the sense of anticipation. Okay, so these sort of words, a sense of anticipation, dramatic, exciting, danger, are all answering the question of how the language is being used to create excitement here. Now you can see in the development, I haven't just left it to say that it's going to be dramatic and that's what's exciting about it. What you do with your development is you look at the quotation again and you pick out one part of it in particular that you could maybe draw a little bit more information from. And in this instance, I've went to explain why the hyphens have been included and why that is an appropriate way for the writer to show and create excitement. Moving on to the next P chain then, the language continues to suggest that this will be an exciting story. So I'm making sure that the examiner is aware that I know what the question is and I'm staying on track. The quotation, Aman, his mother and Shadow find the courage to embark on the treacherous journey, creates tension and drama. Okay, so I'm repeating myself a little bit here, but again, this is furthering the idea that this is an exciting story. So I am looking at how the language is being used. The use of the word courage conveys to the reader that there will be danger and a need for bravery in this story from various characters. Tension is furthered through the inclusion of the phrase treacherous journey, which heightens the reader's attentions and encourages them to want to read this exciting story. So again, I'm pulling apart the quotation a little more in my development part of the answer, and I'm turning back to the question, how it's heightening the reader's attention and encouraging them to want to read an exciting story. So the examiner is fully aware that I am staying on track. I'm adding I'm supporting my answer by adding weight from the text, from the evidence here, and I've fully explained it. With the third P chain then, I'm going to explain how the language continues to create a sense of excitement then. So the blurb of the novel finishes with language techniques to create a feeling of excitement and evoke curiosity in the reader. Again, this is how it's engaging the reader and creating that sense of excitement. I've also highlighted for my examiner that yes, it's a media text, but I'm fully aware that it's a blurb because this is a novel. So the text is coming straight from the back of the book. 2 questions are posed. Can Shadow lead them? And this terrifying new world, is anywhere really safe? So there we go, adding in my rhetorical questions, and I have to explain them now. These rhetorical questions create excitement for the reader, tick tick, as they encourage us to wonder what will happen to this dog Shadow and if the family can find safety in a new home. So again, I'm explaining here how this is engaging us and really grabbing our attention. The use of the ellipsis for the end of the second rhetorical question amplifies the reader's feeling of excitement, as this creates a dramatic pause and makes us want to read the story to find the answers to these questions. So there I have put in some really good advanced vocabulary here. I've mentioned the technique, the dramatic pause at the end through the use of the ellipsis there, and I've referred back to the question once again how it is exciting. So these P chains, you can see, are well developed answers and would get full marks.